Ah, Okay, this is good afternoon to all. Let us start the session. Okay, first of all, good afternoon to one and all present here. It is an immense pleasure to invite our alumni, Mr. R. Praveen Kumar. Sorry, see,
Hello,
there is a
hello,
sir,
sir.
sir, sir, shall I
Sorry,
proceed?
sir. Sir, sorry, sir. The
Sir,
signal ஏதோ weak ஆகி cut ஆயிடுச்சு.
sir, okay, sir, can you proceed, sir?
Yeah, sir, please, sir. உங்க signal ஏதோ ப்ராப்ளம் போல இருக்கு. கட்டாயி வருது எனக்கு.
Okay,
அதான்
sir.
கேட்கல.
Sir, shall I
Yeah,
proceed or you can give this, sir?
yeah, no issue, sir. You can proceed, sir. You can proceed.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
please,
you, sir.
sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Uh, good afternoon to one and all present here. It is an immense pleasure to invite our alumni, Mr. R. Praveen Kumar, CTS Chennai, to give the tech talk on cloud computing and that is AWS, to give the tech talk on cloud computing and AWS. And on behalf of our Department of CSE and School of Computing, Kalasalingam Academy of Research and Education, I welcome the resource person. Uh, Welcome, sir. And this is our profile of our alumni, Mr. R. Praveen Kumar. He is in 5 years of IT industry experience on automation and the cloud and consulting. And he is a sound technical knowledge on cloud computing, automation, and performance testing. He is an extensive experience in R&D on cloud, and additionally, he had experience on handling the client requirement directly, and he hands-on he have an experience on hands-on AWS automation tools such as IP Center, JMeter, there is iShare, Microsoft System Center, and architecture and automation, and knowledge in Python, SQL, and PowerShell. He is a passionate in client interaction. He is a quick learner and adaptable, and plays a good team player. And he is a speaker and reader and writer. And he is a mentor of Atal Thinking Lab and Atal Innovation Mission and Niti Aayog, Government of India. Okay, that's all. Sir, I welcome you, sir. You just start your session, sir. Hello, Praveen. Now I hand over the session to Mr. Distinguished Alumni, Mr. R. Praveen Kumar. Sir, you just proceed, sir.
Yeah. So thank you so much, sir, for inviting me to this webinar. So I first would like to thank HOD and others who recognized and gave me this opportunity. So maybe I think the numbers are getting increased as we go on. So should we need to wait or we can proceed, sir? We can proceed, right, sir?
Yes, proceed, sir.
Yeah,
Proceed.
okay,
You just
fine.
you continue the session. No problem.
So first and foremost, like I think I just shared this particular expectation form. This is my 11th webinar in this COVID-19 crisis. So I didn't share these kind of forms for previous webinars. The reason why I shared, so is it, am I audible to everyone? So can someone confirm me that in the chat?
Yeah, sir, audible.
Sir, audible, sir.
Yeah.
Audible, sir.
Sir,
Please
audible,
proceed,
sir.
sir.
You proceed,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You can proceed,
So,
please, sir.
like, I didn't get this expectation form for my previous webinars. So I got this expectation form for this webinar just to know what exactly, to know what my audience want and where you stand, so that I may not bore you people. So around, I got 17 responses. So if you look at the majority of responses, what I have received, like awareness about cloud computing is no, is 52%. So 50-50. Rate your knowledge. So almost an average 3. And most of you are aware about Amazon Web Services, and least is with Microsoft Azure. And okay, fine, you are aware about Amazon Web Services, but you don't have hands-on experience. Great, I can help you. So rest I got the expectations from you people. So let me go to my presentation so that okay. So I just wanted to introduce the world of cloud to you people. So if you are aware about cloud, kindly bear with me for another 2 slides. So I just wanted to start from the scrap so that it would be easy for everyone to take this forward. So this cloud is something I just, if you want me to explain about cloud, I don't want to go for the definitions that are in the textual books. So I just wanted to narrate few scenarios and explain you what is cloud and take you to AWS and show what the industry is currently using, how we are using cloud in our day-to-day activities. So these are some of the things which I wanted to cover in this presentation. So if you see, if someone asks me in a layman term, what is your computer is made up of, I'd say it is made up of hardware, software, and operating system. So it's a simple term, I would say. And if you see, if you ask me like what exactly you do with your computer, so I say I store my documents, documents related to my certificates. I store my videos, I store my photos. So and majority what I do is like I browse internet, and on random basis what I try to do is like I try to install softwares that are essential for me to do. And on a rare basis I try to code some applications and use my laptop or computer as a medium for building some application. So these are some of the basic things you do with your computer, right? So if someone asks me, so these are the basic things. If I'm going to ask you people what you do with your computer,
Hello? Sir, excuse me. Your voice is not audible. Praveen sir? Praveen sir, your voice is not audible.
have you ever
சார் சார் இந்த கால் பண்றேன் சார் அவருக்கு. சார் வாய்ஸ் நாட் கிளியர் சார். அதான் சார். வாங்க சார், வாங்க சார். சார்
சார் சொல்லுங்க.
சார் அவர் கால்
சொல்லிட்டீங்களா?
பண்ணிருக்கேன், வந்துடுறேன் சார், ஜாயின் பண்றேன் சார்.
ஓகே 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 சார் மெசேஜ் போட்டிருக்காங்க எவ்வளவு அட்டெண்டன்ஸ்
ஆமாங்க
இருக்கு
சார்,
அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு
ஆமாங்க
ஒரு
சார்.
மெசேஜ் போட்டுறீங்களா?
போட்டுறேன் சார்.
போட்டுருங்க.
29 to 27
2 வந்து சப்ராக்ட் பண்ணுங்க. 27 சார்.
ஓகே சார்.
வேற ஃபேக்கல்டி யாரும் ஜாயின் பண்ணிருக்காங்களா கொஞ்சம் செக் பண்ணிக்கோங்க.
ஃபேக்கல்டிஸ் வந்து 2 பேர் இருக்காங்க சார், ஜெயரஞ்சனி மேடம் அண்ட் சுமதி மேம், பாலகிருஷ்ணன்.
சுமதி மேடம், பாலகிருஷ்ணன் சார் 3 பேர் இருக்காங்க. அப்ப 3 நம்ம ஒரு 2 5 பேரை கழிச்சிட்டோம்னா 24 தான் வருது.
சரிங்க சார், சொல்லிடுறேன் சார். 24 போட்டுறேன் சார். மேம் சொல்லுங்க மேம். மேம் சொல்லுங்க மேம். ஆரம்பிச்சேன் மேம். wait a minute. Due to some network issue, the sir will join later. 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, we will join it. Students wait for that. And faculty members are also wait. சார் சார் மீட்டிங் விட்டு வெளியே வந்துட்டீங்க சார். வந்துட்டீங்க, அதான் உங்களுக்கு தான் எல்லாரும் வெயிட்டிங் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். ஓகே சார், ஓகே ஓகே சார். Okay, students and staffs, wait for 2 minutes. Due to network issue, the external member, our alumni want to join now. Wait for 2 minutes. I just informed that. Wait for 2 minutes.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Is it now fine, sir?
Sir. Sir, can you share your screen, sir?
I am using my another machine. Give me a minute. I'll join.
No. Okay. The voice is very slow only, sir.
Yeah. Give me a second, sir. Give me a second, sir.
Okay, sir. We will wait. Sir, Praveen sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
I'm
no
loading.
problem, sir. Any problem, sir?
I'm loading my machine, sir. Give me a second, sir. I'm joining.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, sir.
Can you start this, sir?
Yeah. Fine, sir. So,
Okay. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, participants. Let me start the session. Sir, carry on, sir.
yep. Yeah, sure, sir.
Sir, share your screen and tell that, sir.
Yeah. I'm sharing my screen. So sorry, like since I went into presentation mode, I think it got stuck. I'm really sorry. So maybe I think hereafter it will not have any issue. I was saying that what would have happened if you have lost 100 lines of 1000 lines of code, like you are typing some 3000 lines of code and you lost 1000 lines of code, or in between there is some your laptop got switched off, or was there any like if there is any physical disturbances happening in your machine, you lost some lines of code. So if that is the case, then you might have lost your entire code. These kind of things are some of the common issues faced by the developers who were coding in the
Praveen,
year
sir.
2000. Sir, yes, sir.
Sir, can you give a full screen, sir? Slide. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay, full screen you want. Okay.
Okay. Carry on, sir.
Okay, full screen pona, I think it is getting struck.
Okay, no problem. Sir, you proceed, sir. You proceed. No issue.
Yeah, okay, fine.
No issue.
So maybe slides na ramba use panna maten. I'll go into AWS consoles. So slides on the rendu moonu slide na use பண்ணுவேன் sir. So
Okay, sir.
yeah.
Proceed, sir. Proceed. Sorry for this.
Yeah, okay, fine. So maybe this is one scenario which faced in early 2000. Your code is getting, your machines are getting switched off, a lot of these things, and running out of space. So for example, this is something which many might be facing in your mobile phones, especially if you are using iPhone. You might be running out of space. You might not have space to install new applications, or you might not have a space for adding some new photos into your mobile phone. That's the same thing with respect to with your machine. For example, nowadays machines are coming with 1 TB, 2 TB hard disk capacities are coming. But in earlier days, what had happened is like there might be only I've used 180 GB hard disk. My brother has used 120 128 GB hard disk machine. So space is something is very important with respect to storage. We call in terms of in technical terms in industry's perspective, we don't call it a space, we call it a storage. So storage is something which is very important for any organization purpose. Dead slow. So like if you're using a machine and it is very slow, or like you have dumped a lot of things and your machine is not responding, as my machine didn't respond few minutes back, because I have added a lot of things into my machine, right? So what would happen is like the machine might not have worked in a proper way. And for example, the other scenario is like I want a laptop only for 10 days. I don't want my laptop for more than 10 days. So these are some of the scenarios which I just wanted to say. The reason why I wanted to say is if your machine is getting switched off in between a movie, then you need to resume it again. If the movie is in your machine, what you need to do is you need to again open your machine, and you need to open your movie, and again you need to resume from the place where you have left. That's really irritating thing, right? So, and if you have lost 1,000 lines of code, it's again an irritating thing because of your machine. And if you have missed your laptop itself is missing, like someone has stolen your laptop, or you missed your laptop in your relative's house or your friend's house, but still you wanted to access your laptop. That is not possible, right? So, and if you are running out of space, you don't have any space in your machine, you've added a lot of things into your machine, and because of that your machine is dead slow. And if you need only if you need some software or hardware only for limited period of time, so what is the real solution for these kind of scenario is cloud. So cloud is the real cloud was the solution that was proposed for all these kind of scenarios. So if someone is asking me to define cloud, then I don't think there is no standard definition with respect to cloud. So everyone, the reason why I placed this picture is like there wasn't a big elephant. So one was touching the trunk and saying that it is like a snake. One was touching the legs of the elephant and saying that it looked like a tree. And the other is saying something different. So if you ask a blind person and ask him to touch the elephant, on touching each and every part of the elephant, he would say a different meaning to it. It is the same for cloud also. So from the industry perspective, cloud has got different meaning. So there is no standard meaning for cloud. So if you ask me to define cloud in a simple terms, whatever you do in your machine, you can do it in a web related, like in the sense like everything is hosted on web. So all you need is a thin client. We call it as a thin client. Is a normal machine. You can access whatever the things you are doing with your with your machine, which is being hosted on internet. So if you ask me a straightforward design, all the computational requirements are hosted in internet of network, which is internet. So all you need is access to one particular portal. If you are going to access that particular portal, in the entire computational requirement, your computational, all whatever you do using your computer can be accomplished using that particular environment. So it is like environment inside another environment. We call it as virtualization. So this is a physical machine. If I'm going to connect to a cloud, that cloud is hosted on internet. So if I'm going to host it, if I'm going to access that particular cloud, it is like I'm accessing a virtual environment which is not physically present in my location. So if you ask me the reason why I told these scenarios, so if it is made up of your computer is made up of hardware, software, and operating system, right? Everything is being delivered on cloud. So you don't need anything in your location. All you need is a very thin client with a minimal configuration that is more than sufficient. Whatever that you are doing in your machine, you can accomplish using cloud. So everything, whatever the hardware and software requirements, everything is available in cloud. We call it as a centralized environment which has everything, which has all the computational requirements, which has all the softwares, which has all the servers. Whatever you need, whatever you accomplish using your normal machine, you can accomplish using cloud. That's one thing. And the reason why I told you missed your running out of space, dead slow, and you want only for 10 days. This is very important. Cloud is like, for example, if I'm working for a client and my client wants an application to be up and running only for 10 days. And that application is a very tedious application. It cannot be hosted on my normal machine. So what I need is only for 10 days, I need a machine. I don't want the machine to be in my place for more than 10 days. If I'm going to have that machine for more than 10 days, my client will not be paying for me. So I need that machine only for 10 days. Beyond that, I don't want this machine. So what I will do is, like, I'll get all whatever the things that are required for me, I'll get it from cloud for 10 days. All I need is I need to pay for that 10 days. I don't need to pay for more than 10 days. So it's called as, like, we call it as a on-demand computing, where you pay only for what you use, and you don't need to have a physical asset in your organization which will occupy more than 10 days, which you don't need for more than 10 days. So in a lighter term, if you want me to explain what is cloud, for example, if your native is Madurai, and you are traveling to Chennai, and you are also traveling to Bangalore, and if you wanted to stay in you are going to stay in Chennai for 2 days and Bangalore for 2 days. If you're going to stay, if for staying in Bangalore for 2 days and Chennai for 2 days, will you buy a new house? I don't think so. You will not be buying a new house until you are a millionaire or billionaire for 2 days. So what people will try to do is they'll check in any hotel, stay there for 2 days, and check out after 2 days and come back to their native. So this is what the cloud is all about. All you need is, like, if you need any resource, if you need any computational, if you need any hardware, if you need any storage, if you need any operating system, for a limited period of time, all you need to do is get it from the cloud, use it, and throw back. And you pay only for the days in which you are going to use it, not more than that. The amount you are going to pay is only for the usage what you have accomplished. So this is something like it's a very straightforward and a practical oriented definition I wanted to give for cloud. So the basics, like, as I said, like, hardware, software, operating system, all these are like, if you want any software for your need, then that comes under SaaS, that is software as a service. If you need any infrastructure, like if you need a storage hard disk to store your files, to store your photos, that comes under IaaS, infrastructure as a service. If you need a platform, if you are a developer and you need to code something, you want to execute your code, you need a platform, right? That comes under PaaS, platform as a service. So I don't want to, there are n number of services like this. So in simple terms, what we call it is XaaS. What does this X means? Anything as service. The major benefit is of this particular thing is, you don't need your physical machine. You can access your cloud anywhere, anytime, at any point of time. You can access your cloud, anything, anywhere, anytime. This is what a main mantra of cloud. So all you need is any machine. It's a common repository. It's a common location, right? So you don't need. It is not machine specific. It's not like if the file is getting stored in your machine, you need to access that particular file only after logging into your machine. So if it is in cloud, you can access anywhere, anytime. You can store anything also. So this is what cloud is all about. And if you see some of the popular clouds which is there in industry is like, if it is a proprietary kind of a thing, licensed cloud, AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform. So these three are the popular and important cloud service providers with respect to licensed one. So if you want open source kind of a cloud, we have Apache Cloud Stack, OpenStack, Open Nebula, Eucalyptus. Lot of things are there with respect to open source also. So these are some of the common cloud service providers. All you need is either you can, if you see AWS, Microsoft Azure Cloud, Google Cloud Platform, these are platforms. All you need is create an account in these platforms, You can use, there are multiple services that whatever, if you want to code, you can launch a platform in these platforms. You can create a platform on a platform, and you can code on your own. So you don't need to set up anything. All you need is sign up with these particular platforms. You logging in, do something, close it, come out. You pay only for what you use, and you don't pay for what you don't use, or you don't pay for anything more than what you have used. So, and if you see OpenStack and these open source clouds, these you need to build up on your own. So either you can build it on your, so if you see OpenStack, you can build it on your laptop itself. So the laptop version of OpenStack is DevStack. So you can build a cloud on your home, in your own machine itself. So how the cloud would look like is, if you're going to build your machine as a cloud, your machine itself will act as a cloud. In the sense, like if you're a cloud is like, as I said, it's a common platform or a common area, right? So for example, if you're having 100 GB of memory in your machine, you can allocate 20 GB for cloud, so that you can access that 20 GB anywhere in this world. And you can store, if you're going to give access to anyone, even that person can access that particular cloud from anywhere in this world. And you can store anything in that 20 in the 20 GB of data which you have made it as a cloud. And if you see the way in which these services are provided is like, either it is in a public mode, or it is in a private mode, or it's in a hybrid mode. So in the sense, like, if you don't want everything to be like, if you want everything to be accessed in a global environment, or if you want everything to be accessed by everyone, you can use a public cloud model, which will help you to access all the cloud services across the world without any restriction. But you need some credentials. If you are going to use those credentials, you can access those services at any point of time, at anywhere. And private cloud is something is like you can access only in a specified environment, or only to a specific group. Certain services will be provided. For example, if there are 100 services, 100 services are available in cloud, you can host a few services as a private, you can host few services as public, and even you can even have hybrid kind of model. For example, if you are building an application for providing salary to your employees, okay, so what you will do is, like, you will collect some information from the employees, like bank details, and you will collect the employee name, employee ID, and everything, right? And you will be delivering that particular you will be accessing the bank accounts, and you will be depositing the salary into their bank account. So these things cannot be open to everyone, but employee ID, employee name, these things can be open to everyone. Bank details, amount, transaction cannot be made to everyone. So what kind of model people will try to do is, commonly accessed or unimportant things will go into private mode, unimportant things will go into public mode, important details will go into private mode. So it would be like a mixture of public and private. So I just wanted to go with respect to from the industry perspective. So if you're going to ask what is cloud to a server administrator, who is a server administrator in industries? A server administrator is a person who will provision new servers and give it to the developers. The developers will host some application. So if you ask me, if you ask a server administrator, if you go and ask him what is a cloud, he will say cloud is a server. It's an online server, he would say. It is not a local server, it is an online server. So instead of like if in a normal way, like if it is a local server, it will be built upon it will be built inside in a local area network, or it can be accessed within a particular network. So if your server is in cloud, it can be accessed across the globe. So the difference is like if you ask a server administrator, you would say a normal server is completely different from cloud server. you will define cloud as a service, online service. So it doesn't mean that this is offline service, but on access basis, the local service can be accessed only within particular region, whereas cloud service can be accessed across the globe. So I'll just go through, I'll just show you a demo. So how I'll pause for a minute, and because I just wanted to I just wanted to log into my AWS console. I'll pause for a minute and I'll reshare. I'm just going to log into my machine using my credentials. So I don't want to share my screen and do that. Give me a second. I'll log into my AWS. Okay, I'll share my screen once again. Okay, so as I said, like I'm going to deal with Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services is a cloud platform from Amazon. AWS gives you the entire requirement, whatever you do in your machine, whatever you do with your laptop or with your local machine, you can access. You can have everything as a service in this particular platform. So AWS, like all you need to do is you need to sign up into this portal. So you should have a credit card. So to sign up to this particular portal, you need to have a credit card, and it gives, I'll share those details in the last slide, how to sign up and all these things. So just understand, AWS is a public cloud where the entire your entire computational requirement are hosted in this portal. Okay, so what I told is, if you are going to use a normal server, you can access only from within a particular region. But if you are going to create a new server in AWS, you can access that particular server across the globe, right? So I have already created one server, test server. So the service which is used to create servers in AWS is EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud, and we call it as instance. So whatever the servers that you run or you create, we call it in AWS perspective, it is being called as instances. So I've already created 2 instances. So if creating a new instance is very easy. So all you need is like so launch instance. That's it. I'll show you. Yep. So what you need to do is, after signing into your AWS account, you need to search something called EC2. So this is called EC2. If you're going to click this EC2, it will land into dashboard kind of a thing. So which I showed you in the previous screen. So this will be the landing page if you're going to select EC2. EC2 is a service which will help you to create servers. And there is something called launch instance. Launch instance will help you to create servers. So if you see here, there are multiple there are multiple accounts. Like if you're going to use free tier account, the services would be completely different. If you're going to use enterprise account, it would be completely different. It's like how much you pay, like those kind of services will be given to you. So if you want, for example, I'm a .NET developer. I need a Windows machine to host my application. So what I need to do is I need to go and select. There are multiple things. If you want a Linux server, you can create a Linux server. If you want in Linux, if you wanted to go for a Red Hat, you can go for Red Hat. So if you want Ubuntu, you can create a Ubuntu server. If you want a Windows machine, you can create a Windows machine. So my requirement is a Windows machine, which will help me to host a .NET application. Other than this, like if you want a database server, you can go and create a database server in EC2. And the best thing about EC2 or the cloud is you can access this particular server anywhere, irrespective of your machine. If you're going to give access to the particular user, that particular user can access this machine anywhere in this world. It doesn't mean that if it is a local server, you will be able to access that information only within that particular region. For example, if the server was built in a LAN, you can access that particular server only in the LAN. If it is in cloud, you can access anywhere. So I'll just show you. Although I have created a machine already, I'll just show you. I'm just going for Microsoft Windows Server base, so I'm selecting it. And so even with respect to the configuration of your machine, you can, based upon your requirement, you can choose whatever the thing you want, but you need to be very careful. Everything is like it's a chargeable one. So if you're going to use 1 GB of data, 1 GB memory, and if you want each and everything has its own cost. So based upon your requirement, you need to build this machine. So I'll go for the free tier eligible, this one. Then configuration details. If I wanted to host it in AWS, or if I wanted to connect it to a new virtual private cloud environment, or if I wanted to connect it to my LAN, everything can be done using this configuration details. And I'll go for the next one, storage. This is something which you can like if you want 30 GB of data in your machine, you can add 30. If you want 100 GB of data in your machine, you can add 100. So you don't need to worry about the storage space. If it is in your local machine, what would happen is, like, you cannot expand this particular thing. Your store, it will be limited, right? So if it is in cloud, it is expandable. You can expand, you can add more volume. If you see this particular option, in this option there is something called add volume. So you can add new volume to your machine. There is no restriction. So in the first slide I was saying you, right? So if your machine is running out of space, if you have already occupied your machine with a lot of photos and everything, but what you will be doing is you will be adding external memory card, or you will be adding something, right? So all these things are eliminated. You don't need anything. You don't need to buy another on disk or pen drive or attach to your machine and do all these things. If you are running out of space, just simply add volume. Your volume will get automatically added. You don't need to worry about volume. It will get automatically expanded. But the thing you need to be worried is, every volume what you add or what you use matters a lot. So it is a cost. Like for each and every KB, MB, GB what you're using, it is like there is a cost associated with it. So next, I don't need any tags, because if I have multiple servers, I can tag those servers into multiple name. And the new security group. So how I wanted to access this particular server, I can access this particular server in multiple ways. RDP is the one popular way in which we use to access remote desktop protocol, is the one way in which we use to access the servers. So I'm going with RDP itself. And review and launch, if I'm going to give, this particular server will be configured and it will be up and running. So as I told, I already have a server in my I have already created a new server. So I'll just show you. So this is a demo machine which I have already created. So the same steps which I have told you, I have done that, and I have created this demo machine. So if I want to connect to this machine, all I need to do is I just need to click connect, select that and click connect. So here, with respect to security, there is something called there will be some what I would say, there is some kind of encryption with respect to your password. So there will be a file called PMP file. So you need to create this file while creating this particular instances. So I already created this file. So I need to get the password. First, I need to download the RDP remote desktop file. So it is getting downloaded. So it is getting downloaded. So, yep. Okay, fine. So now I need a password. So to get a password, what I need to do is, I have already created a file called demo.pam. So this file, only if I upload this particular file, I will be, and if I decrypt the key that is there in that particular file, I'll get the password. So I'll just stop my screen and I'll get the password, so that for security reason, I'm doing it. So again, I'm stopping my screen. Give me a second. So I copied, I'll once again share my screen. So I copied my, okay. So I copied my password and I'm just pasting in my password. So if I'm going to run this, yes, a new machine will be hosted. So what you're seeing is a computer on your computer. If you exactly imagine you are already using one computer and you are seeing my computer and you are seeing another computer into it. So it's like a 3-layer of computer you are seeing. So in this server, whatever I need, I can do it. So I configured using 30 GB of data. So if you see, so whatever, for example, if I wanted to run an application, or if I wanted to, if I want to store some information, whatever I wanted to do, I can do this in this machine. So I have created a machine with 30 GB of data, which OS is already occupied 16.5 GB. I have 15 GB in hand. So I can use this machine to store enormous amount of data. Whatever, if I wanted to store, if I wanted to host an application or something, I can go ahead and do it. So this is one
Sir?
Sorry, your voice is
sorry,
not
if you
audible.
ask a server editor, is it fine now, sir?
Okay.
Yeah, better.
Yeah, okay, fine. So if you see, there is something called instance state. So how the cost is being calculated for this particular thing. For example, if you are having a machine in your environment, if you want to use this environment only for 10 minutes, can you invest on lakhs and lakhs of rupees and build a server in your environment? You will not do it, right? If I need a server only for 10 minutes, I will use it. I'll simply go and create a server in this particular EC2 instance, and I'll use it. I will not buy a new server or buy a new machine for my temporary requirement. So how the cost is being calculated is based upon the running hours. So if you're per hour, it is cost. Like if you are running your machine for more than for 1 hour, there is some cost. If you are using the machine for 2 hours, the cost will be calculated for 2 hours. If you're 10 days, the cost will be calculated only for 10 days. So if what I'm going to now do is I'm going to stop my machine. So now the cost will not be calculated for my machine. So it will only for the running hours, the cost will be calculated, and I need to pay only for the running hours. I don't need to pay for the hours in which my machine is in stop listing. So it is a benefit, right? So, and moreover, I don't need to I pay only for what I use. I don't need to have that server physically present in my environment, or maintain that server. Maintenance is something very, very tedious task with respect to server. So now it is stopped. So all these maintenance and everything, AWS will take care of it. All I need is use that server and come out of it. So if it is in my environment, I need to maintain that server. I need to run patches every week. I need to run the security patches that is being updated by. All these things are taken care by AWS. I don't need to worry about everything. So this is something called, this is with respect to server. Okay, so if you ask a storage administrator, so what does cloud means? What he would say is cloud is a storage area. You can store any information on cloud, and you can access that particular information anywhere, anytime. You can store any details or any data into that particular cloud. So this is what a cloud storage administrator would define. So in a normal environment, where you will be storing your information is hard disk, whereas in cloud, especially in AWS, we have something called S3 bucket, simple secure cloud. So we have something called S3 bucket. In S3 bucket, so what you can do is you can create a bucket. Bucket is a entity where you can add data into that bucket. So you can separate yourself. Like for example, I need to have movies in one bucket. I have created a bucket for my own purpose. So Praveen test bucket 1. So I have created this one bucket where I don't need. For example, you yourself can create a bucket for like for example, for movie you can create one bucket. For photos you can create one bucket. For storing your code you can create one bucket. The major advantages, all you need is like you can access that particular. If the data is stored in bucket, in AWS bucket, you can access that data anywhere, anytime, at any point of time you can access it. If it is in your local machine, you need to log into your machine and access it. If it is in cloud, you can access anywhere, and you can store any data. So irrespective of the structure or irrespective of the nature, you can store. But again, for each and every byte of data you store and use it in AWS, it will get cost. If you are deleting the data from the AWS environment, you will not be getting cost. You will be billed only for what you use, and you will not be billed for what you are not going to use. So I have just simply added one welcome.php file just for demo purpose. I added. So if I wanted to add any new file or something, I just go and upload that file. Desktop. So if for example, I create a text file, new. So I'm just creating a text file. So all I'm just doing is I'm uploading it. That's it. My file get uploaded. If this file is, for example, if I want to see, if you see, I can access this particular file using this URL, common public URL. So if I copy paste this particular URL into my machine, I think I should be getting that text file. Access denied, because this I didn't give it as a public one. I'll show you. I'll say you. Make public. So if I'm going to make it as a public, I'll be able to access those particular text document in a public environment. So since I don't have any information into my in the text file, I don't find it. So what I'll do is, so this is a text file which is in my machine. So if I want to access this text file in my machine, I can access only from this environment. So if it is in cloud, I can access anywhere. So I'm just uploading this particular file once again. Add file, desktop, Praveen. Next. So I'm going to grant access to public. Next. Standard one, that is more than sufficient for me. Upload. It is getting uploaded. Okay, so now the text file got uploaded, I guess. Let us see. No, I don't find. I'll just change the name and I'll upload so that I can say whether it is uploaded X, Y, Z. Upload file, because since it is same name, I think it didn't get uploaded. Next, grant access, public access to that particular file. Next, standard is sufficient for me. Yep, XYZ is now host. It is now in the S3 bucket. So all I need to do is copy this URL, paste it here. Yep. Whatever the information that is available in my local machine text file, it is now available in that cloud. So the major advantages, again, I'm saying, so if it is in your local machine, you need to access that machine and do it. If it is in cloud, you can do it, you can access anywhere. So this is with respect to cloud storage. So with respect to developers perspective, so this is very important. So from developers perspective, how you see cloud is, I have only 3 more slides. I'll finish it off. Don't worry. So Eclipse is something which you use for your development purpose, right? So,
Mr. Praveen,
sir, yes, sir.
Mr. Praveen, sorry for the interruption. I need one small query for this session. Now we can create it for that in AWS. So after AWS, if any payment they have to charge us.
Yep. If I upload that document into my AWS environment, for every KB or for every MB, whatever I'm using it in AWS environment, I will be getting billed. So if I don't want that file, if I delete this particular file, it will not be getting billed.
Okay, actually, last 2 months back, I have to create it for the same thing in AWS. Just I have to create it for that in AWS only. I don't upload it for anything.
Okay.
But charges it will be came. So that's why I am asking to you.
It depends upon the tier, and for example, billing is based upon the amount of usage you are going to use. You might have exhausted the free tier. Like for example, if you are in if you're using a free tier that is for 12 months, and if this particular data is more than the free tier, then AWS might have billed for you, sir.
Okay, actually, the 2 months back only I have to create it for the AWS. Then after that, monthly once only I have to open and close it down. I don't use for that in anything.
Okay.
But anyway, the charges it will be came. So
because you're using it, right? So for example, 2 months back, you have opened the AWS account, and if you have created this particular EC2 machine, if you have created a server, and if that server is running for past 2 months, means for running for the number of hours it is getting run, the bill will be generated. So for 2 months, if your server is in running state, it means that AWS is thinking that you are using that particular server. So it will be billed. You will be billed for that particular hours in which the machine is getting run. This is similar for even for this particular thing, S3 bucket. So if you are going to use this particular data, and if it is going to be in AWS environment, it will be charged.
Okay, then how I can be staffed for that in AWS in EC2?
It's very simple. You can go to EC2 instance.
Okay.
So you might have created some instance in EC2. So if you're going to EC2, if you're going to instance state, just click that particular instance. If it is in running state, it will be in charge. The billing will be going on. So all you need to do is instance state, stop. That's it. You'll not be getting charged. And still on one more step, if you really don't want this machine at all, then what you need to do is action, instance state, terminate.
Okay.
So directly your machine will be deleted from the AWS account.
Okay. So once the server it can be running, the billing charge it can be applicable.
Yep, sir. Yep, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you.
sir. So we'll go with the developer's perspective. So from developer's perspective, what people will do is they'll have Eclipse in their machine. They'll develop some code. They'll deploy it in either they deploy it in their local host, or they'll deploy it in a local machine or something they'll be doing, right? So same thing we can do it in AWS also. The best thing about AWS than using it in a normal environment is if you're going to miss any lines of code in normal environment, you will not get back. But in AWS, you have options to store your code. There is something called code commit, which will help you to store all your code. And AWS Lambda is a service which will help you to run your code. So it's a platform. As I said, it's a platform as a service where it will help you to run that particular code, and you can check what is the exact behavior of that particular code using AWS Lambda. Elastic Beanstalk is a service which will help you to deploy that particular code. So in Eclipse, what a developer will try to do is he will try to develop a code and he will try to deploy that code, right? So in AWS, you can develop that in using Lambda, and you can deploy it using Elastic Beanstalk. So I'll just show you how Lambda works. Lambda is one of the important service with respect to AWS. So Lambda. So I have created this demo. Yep. So demo function. So before that, I'll show you how you can create a Lambda. This one which I've already created. I'll show you how a Lambda function can be created. So there will be an option called create Lambda function. So all you need to do is go to in service after logging into AWS, go to something called Lambda. If you are a developer and you need an environment to run your code, or you need any code, if you want to build a code something, go to Lambda function in AWS services. So you can use a blueprint, or you can use a serverless app repository. This is something very huge. Maybe in some other point of time I can explain you what is that. I'll go with from the scratch. So I'll just give my function name, for example, demo or demo underscore function. So what environment I need, that is what demo function is already taken. So I'll just say I'm not going to create because I already have. So demo function, Praveen, this is the function name. What environment I need? For example, I can create environment as per my requirement. So I don't need to, for example, if you want a Python, you can go ahead and use Python from Lambda function. I don't need to install Python in my local machine. If I am going to install Python in my local machine, it will occupy space. My code execution, my laptop will not be that sufficient to handle a large code. It will not be execution time will be very high. It will be a dead slow. So if you connect with the first slide points, you can understand whatever I'm saying now. So if it is in AWS environment, it will be very efficient. I can run the code. I can execute any number of code, and I can do a lot of things with respect to AWS. If it is in my local environment will not be able to handle 1,000 lines of code. Because I have only 4 GB RAM. My configuration is very, very less. It will not be possible, right? So if I have already created a Python environment, so all you need to do is create function. So if you're going to create a new environment will be created where you can run Python programs. So I already have a demo Lambda function which I have created. So this is I've just coded a very simple Python code. What this Python code will do is it will upload a file into S3 bucket. So this is this is a sample code which I have created. So what this code will do is, Python code will do is, it will upload a sample file into the S3 bucket, which is Praveen test bucket 1. This is my bucket. Okay. So I'll open S3 bucket also in the side by side. I'll open my bucket. Praveen bucket. Okay. So these are the files that are available. So what my Lambda function is going to do is it is going to create a file called demo test file with these information. Okay, so after creating a Lambda function, you'll have an environment like this where you can code. So what I did is I typed this code and I have saved it. So you will have option to save this code. So after saving this code, all you need to do is test. So if you're going to test this particular code, it got executed. This particular code got executed. And if you see my S3 bucket, a new demo file will be generated. Demo test file text. So if this is in your local machine, then what you need to do is you need to connect this code to AWS. Then after, it's a tedious process, right? So this connection is very easy because it is in the same environment. My task is one of the tasks which was given to me is to upload a file using these information into S3 bucket. So if it is in local environment, I need to connect it to AWS environment using the credentials. A lot of things will happen. So if it is in AWS environment, what I did is I created an environment in my AWS environment itself. I coded, I executed, and I can see the result. So this is what we call it as Lambda function. What you exactly do. So Elastic Beanstalk is something, once you have coded, for example, if it is in a web application, you have completed coding that the web application, you need to deploy that web application, right? So for deploying purpose, there is something called Elastic Beanstalk. So what Elastic Beanstalk will try to do is, it will create an environment for you where you can deploy your application. So I already have, what you need to do is create environment. So you wanted to have a web server. So I'm selecting it web server. So application name, what is the name of your application? Demo application. I already have a demo application. So I'm just doing it. Demo application underscore Praveen. This is the environment I am creating. And the domain name in which the application is going to get hosted is, I'll say Praveen Kumar the buddy, like that. Check the availability, it is not available. So if you have the code in your hand, for example, if it is upload your code is an option. So what you can do is, either if you can store that particular code in S3 bucket and host this application, or if you are having that particular if you build your application and you have that application file in your local machine, all you need to do is choose the file. So if you're going to choose that file and create environment, a new environment will be created and your application will be getting hosted. Where it will get hosted? It will be getting hosted in this particular domain. Praveen Kumar the buddy.ap.south.elasticbeans.com. So here your application will be hosted. So I already have a demo. So I'm not going to create a new environment. So I'll go to Elastic Beanstalk once again. So I already have a demo application. So this application this is the URL of this application. I already deployed one sample thing. So you can see the application getting deployed here. It's a demo application which has been deployed. The same procedure, whatever I have showed you in a few minutes back, same way you can create a Elastic environment, you can deploy your application. So in overall view, Lambda will help you to create that application and Elastic Bean will help you to host that application in your cloud. So if it is in a normal environment, you need to code it in Eclipse, then it will be hosted in your local machine. So if the application is hosted in your local machine, you will not be able to access beyond your local machine. So if it is in cloud, you will be able to access globally. So this is what all about from developer's perspective. So if you ask a developer what is cloud, he will say it's a platform to develop and deploy application. So that's it. And one user request which I got from the Google form is to explain about AWS IAM. So what is AWS IAM? So what is AWS IAM is identity management portal. So for example, I'll show you. you need to have some kind of restriction, right? So so you can create users. There will be one super user. That super user can create a user, multiple users. You can assign certain roles. For example, user A can access only these services. You can create only EC2 instance. You can store some data into S3 bucket. So there is something called users. Users is to create users. You can create administrator can create users, and roles is something you can assign roles. So these are the roles which this particular user can do. For example, you can create only EC2 instance. You can create these things. You can assign these particular things to the user. For example, you will be able to do these kind of activities. Policies are something like after creating a user and adding some services to that particular user, we can restrict that certain things. For example, there is a user A, he wants a server. Okay, what you need to do is you can go to users, you can create a user A, and in roles you can specify he can create a EC2 instance. In policies, what you need to do is you can give a policy like whether you need to have administrator access or local access, whatever, anything. Okay, so if he wants administrator access, he can go and give in policies, we can add administrator access to that particular role to particular user. So this is what all about IAM. So I think I have completed almost everything into my presentation. The final thing which I wanted to say is about the free tier. If you want to use AWS, you can go to aws.com. So you can create a new account in aws.com. 1 year free subscription is being given from the AWS. 750 hours. You can. If you are going to explore, there are a lot of things with respect to free account. You can use this free account for 1 complete year. And you need to be very careful in this free account. If you are going to exceed the exact, for example, you can use 750 hours of EC2. For example, as I told you, right, running state. If it is exceeding more than 750 hours, your running state of your EC2 machine, then you will be cost. Likewise, a lot of things are available. S3 bucket, you can use only 5 GB of data. RDBS, you can use only 750 hours. So there are a lot of things available. So you can create. For this, you need a credit card. So if you are going to use beyond the free service limit, then you will be automatically charged, and you cannot delete your credit card details. Automatically, the amount will be getting detected from your credit card. So I think I have almost done with my presentation. So if there is anything, maybe I think I can answer the questions from you people.
If any question from audience side, please.
Sir, what was the current applications where we are using, sir, in the AWS?
If you see current application, okay, fine. I already have a slide for that. In education field, healthcare and life science. So especially with respect to education, now we are seeing a lot of adoption with respect to cloud. Since there is COVID-19 crisis across the world, now a lot of adoption has taken place. Many are now migrating towards cloud, where you can access and you can teach people via online services. Even if you see universities in abroad, most of them have migrated towards cloud. All the teaching and all the lectures, everything is happening in cloud. So if you healthcare education is one key area where cloud adoption is taking place in a faster phase. And of course, healthcare and life science both are taking in a faster phase. These are the three key areas in which cloud adoption is taking place in faster phase, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, students, any queries?
Maybe I think I might have gone very in a faster way. So if you have any questions or queries, you can even drop a mail to me. I will be happy to assist you. And if you are very much interested in building cloud, like for example, if you are very much interested in building cloud on your own in your local machine itself, we can try that using OpenStack. There is something called DevStack. I tried it a few years back, but I haven't upgraded my knowledge. So if you are very much interested and if you have a laptop and if you want to build a cloud, very well you can reach out to me. Even it would be a learning experience for me also.
Yeah,
Okay,
one
sir.
more small query, Mr. Praveen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you told that based upon the storage, the charges also it can be applicable.
Yep, sir. Yep, sir.
Then up to 5 GB, there is no charges. Is it right?
Yep. Yeah, no charges. In the free
No
tier,
charges.
I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay. Then can you please once again then how to upload for the file to the server? Can you give the demo, sir, please?
Yep. Yeah, sure, sir. So
Actually, we are created for the AWS.
okay.
Okay. Then after that, then how we can be go and uploaded for the file? If any, give for the demo, please.
You will be entering into the AWS environment. So
Yeah.
this is the
Okay.
AWS environment. So
Yes.
after entering into AWS environment, you need to decide what kind of file you are going to store. If it is a plain text file, or if it is going to be a what kind of file you are going to store, you need to think. So if it is a plain text file or it's a normal file, you can go again and create a bucket in S3. There is a service called S3. So what S3 will help you to do is it will help you to create a bucket. Bucket is an entity. So for example, you can classify things. For example, if you want to store photos in one, you have photos as well as you have videos. What you can do is you can create a bucket for photos. You can create a bucket for videos. So all you need to do is you can create bucket, give a name for your bucket, Praveen Kumar the buddy. So this is the name of my bucket. So I can if I have already have a bucket. I already have 28 buckets in my AWS account. I can copy the settings from other buckets, or I can go ahead and assign some configuration to my bucket. So do I need app? These are nothing. I don't want all these things. So if I want to access this particular bucket everywhere, then I need to check out so that I can access this bucket everywhere, anywhere, and I can access. If I want to give log is something like whatever you do, whatever the activity you perform in your AWS, it will get stored in log. There is something called Cloud Watch. So I don't want any log because it will again cost me. So I acknowledge that this particular bucket will be public. Next, create bucket. That's it. So the new bucket will be created. Praveen the buddy, Praveen Kumar the buddy, the bucket has been created. So all you, if I want to store a file or if you want to upload a file, upload, add files, XYZ. Next, if I want to access this particular file everywhere, make it as grant to public. Next, I don't want anything else. It should be a standard one. Okay, upload. The file got uploaded. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
And
But
if I want to delete it, I can go ahead and delete it. Click action, delete. The file will be deleted. And if you want to delete the bucket itself, go to S3, select the bucket name, Praveen the buddy, because I don't want this bucket. Delete. Type the bucket name here, Praveen. I think Praveen Kumar the buddy. Okay. Confirm. Oh. Okay. Confirm. My bucket will be deleted. So this is how you can store, retrieve, delete your files into AWS environment, sir.
Okay,
Sir?
thank you, Mr. Praveen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So your presentation as well as the demo is very good. Then, if any doubt, we have to call to you and clarify to the same thing.
Anytime you can reach me. So I'll ping my email ID. This is my email ID. So that you can drop a mail to me at any point of time. So if you need any assistance or if you need anything, you can drop a mail to me. I'll be happy to assist you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Then student side, if any query is there, or faculty side, if any query is there. I think no. Vijayamanikam sir.
Sir, சொல்லுங்க சார்.
ஒரு query இல்ல அப்படினா vote of thanks கொஞ்சம் சொல்லிறீங்களா? வேற யாராவது இருக்காங்களா?
சொல்லிறேன் சார்.
Yeah, please, please sir. I invite Mr. Dr. Vijayamanikam to give the vote of thanks. Please sir.
Okay sir. Sir, once again I thank our distinguished alumni, Mr. There is R. Praveen Kumar, give a wonderful presentation regarding about that AWS and the cloud computing. That is, we learned a lot, a new thing. I think that so we have to load. That is how we can load there. That is what are the ways. And I think that is from the Praveen Kumar itself. I know that this is an emerging trend in now itself due to the COVID scenario. Okay, so that's what there is. We move on to the cloud aspects. So we just, sir, once again, I thank you for your accept. There is invitation. There is to accept our invitation without any delay. There is we need your further cooperation for in further coming days also. Okay. So thank you so much, sir. Praveen sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So looking forward.
Okay, on behalf of our department of CSE, the head of the department, Dr. A. Francis Saverian Devaraj, and our dean ma'am, Dr. P. Deeplakshmi ma'am, give us some moral support with the help of our Dr. Murubudi sir and our team. There is the faculty members who supported a lot. That is to conduct this function is a grandful success. And I once again thank our coordinators as well as the student members. That is for your kind support. I think so you learn a lot during this the entire 1 hour. I think so. Okay, so thank you one and all for your kind patience and your presence. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Praveen, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.